Look at girls. How many boys are there in your college? One. Good. A rare and endangered species. So it doesn't make any difference, boys or girls, because today girls are also at the helm of the affairs. Of course, we know our India is being ruled by a lady. It was ruled by a lady even during Indira Gandhi's time. Kiran Bedi, there are so many. Anyway, the purpose of our lecture today is that homeopathy is in danger. Danger of getting completely wiped off the map. Are you aware of that? Huh? You know that this time the admissions to most of the colleges, because at Bombay and all over India, is not even 22%. Last year it was 50% totally, today it's only 22%. It is alarming. I think this has happened. Why do you think that nobody is opting for homeopathy? Let us try to understand the psyche. Why do you feel people are not opting for homeopathy? Why do you think, first you start from yourself then? Always remember this, if you want an answer to any question, try to find out the answer within you. The whole world starts from you. At any given point, you are the whole world. So why did you join homeopathy? Homeopathy, come on. There are various reasons, it may be anything. Anyway, but let me know who's from which level. Those who have passed out, how many people? Interns? Quite a few. Okay. And those who have in the final year? Only 5, 6, 7, 8, right? Okay, final year. And those who are in the third or second year? Quite a few. This is very good. This is very good. So ask yourself this question. Ask yourself this question. Why? Why did you take admission into this college? वो नहीं पता ना कि मम्मी डैडी ने बोला कि डॉक्टर बन जाओ तो अच्छा हस्बैंड मिलेगा या डाउरी कम पड़ेगी. Not that way. You have come with your own wish or due to your parents' wish? Own wish. Good. Why? Why did you want to become a homeopath? Frankly, say frankly, इधर कुछ मार्क्स मिलने वाला नहीं है, कोई पनिश करने वाला नहीं. See, I'll tell you frankly, I took homeopathy, admission to homeopathy because I did not get into allopathy. Same. Most of you. क्योंकि उधर जाने को नहीं मिला, इधर आ गए, डॉक्टर का ये तो टैग तो लगना था. Same thing happened with me. Yeah, इसमें कुछ शर्माने की बात नहीं है. Always be very frank, very clean, very clear, very transparent. Your whole basis of good and successful homeopathy starts from being transparent. There should not be any hodgepodge or some concealment, nothing. Be very, very transparent. There are 2 or 3 things which are very important to become a homeopath. One is that transparency. Transparency, that means honesty. Number 1. Number 2, what? That passion to do something good for the people should be there within. And number 3, do not have an ego or that heartiness that I know so much and you all don't know so much. This is the main thing which has brought about downfall of homeopaths. Not homeopathy but homeopaths. everywhere. Whenever they get little knowledge, they feel that they are so much big. They become bigger than the boots. And you know, ahankar always kills you. Singham देखा है? अहंकारी को अहंकारी मारता है. अहंकारी को अहंकारी मारता है. So if you keep that ahankar, that ego, that I am great or I am the greatest, see, there cannot be anybody greatest in this world. There cannot be. The world is so big, so huge, so large and so immense that there cannot be somebody who is the greatest, there cannot be a superlative in this field. It is always an ongoing process. Even Hahnemann at the age of 90s, in his 9th decade, he was still a learner. Today, after 35-40 years of my experience, I am still a learner. I am learning from each and every student of mine. And I have got no shame in telling you. The day this comes in you, then the foundation of being a good homeopath is laid. Remember that. कहीं पे भी hodgepodge नहीं चाहिए, कहीं पे भी cover up नहीं चाहिए, no, and no egoism. You should not have that ego that I can cure this, nobody else can. ऐसा नहीं है. You are always like a mendak in a pond, and we feel that our world is this much only. But there is much more world outside also. Remember that. So whenever I am addressing to 100 people here, it is not a big thing. There are thousands of people still there outside who have never heard me or never heard any good homeopaths or even homeopathy. There are so many people. क्या homeopathy क्या होता है? उससे क्या होने वाला है? But it is always that ज्योत से ज्योत लगाते चलो, प्रेम की गंगा बहाते चलो. If I give you some knowledge, you are enlightened. If you are enlightened, naturally, your the people whom you teach will get enlightenment. So you have to go on teaching. Remember, another golden rule is that when you get knowledge, do not keep it to yourself. Do not keep it to yourself. You always go on spreading to others. The moment you spread, the moment you give, you will get much more from your life. जितना तुम हार्ड डिस्क तुम्हारा खाली करते जाओ और दूसरे को ट्रांसफर करते जाओ, तो इधर जगह होती है ऊपर से आने के लिए. So your knowledge will always multiply by giving. So these are basic things which you should know. Why? How to become a good homeopath. So what is the first one? Transparency. Very clear, clean in your heart. See, in my clinic now, I think about 15-20 assistants from my clinic have come. I don't know why they have come. But that is also a virtue. That is also a virtue. I have never called them. I have kept this thing as a secret. I don't know how they came to know. But this is the passion. The passion with which they are going ahead. Never mind whatever sir is teaching for the youngsters, but I am going to get something out of it. तो एक भी कुछ मिल गया तो भी that can increase your knowledge and be a bond, sometimes even a catalyst to your further knowledge. So no knowledge is ever waste. So, that's why most important thing besides this passion, most important thing is the transparency. You ask, what I was quoting here is that ask all of my assistants who are here, they will tell you how transparent is our practice in the clinic. We have got thousands of cases, 65-70,000 of cases lying in this thing, all are with them. I don't touch my books. They only touch it, they only remove the cases, they only tell me what is the symptoms, what are the things, what is the prescription, everything is there. So, because what is happening, I am telling you that in this world of psychosis, lot of homeopaths are teaching one thing in the in the auditorium to the students and practicing something else inside. And that is very dangerous because that is psychosis, that is false. That is not what they have succeeded in with. So if whatever I have succeeded with, whatever knowledge I have succeeded in, if I give it to them or give it to others, naturally they will also follow suit. So you will see, because of this, our lineage from me to my students to their students, and their students to their students, has become so clear and transparent that even the third generation and the fourth generation down below are giving results. And that is what we want. A teacher is known only by the students whom they produce. अगर तुम्हारे स्टूडेंट्स को रिजल्ट नहीं आते हैं तो दैट मीन्स तुम्हारी टीचिंग गलत है. अगर स्टूडेंट्स को ही रिजल्ट नहीं आते हैं दैट मीन्स तुम्हारी टीचिंग गलत है. तुमने इंग्लिश पढ़ाया, उर्दू पढ़ाया, फ्रेंच पढ़ाया, अगर वो आदमी बात नहीं कर सकता है, कन्वर्स नहीं कर सकता है वही लैंग्वेज में, तो तुम्हारी टीचिंग गलत है. So also in homeopathy, if whatever I teach is wrong, or direction is wrong, you will never get results. And in fact, I am so very happy, and always I have on this stage I have been always saying this again and again, that I am so happy that incurable diseases which used to be this thing of mine, like people used to think incurable disease है Dr. Vijayakar के पास जाओ, उसको तीसरी आँख है, etc. was this thing. ऐसे rumors उठते थे, जैसे अन्ना हजारे के बारे में उठते हैं कि वो RSS का आदमी है. तो similarly, so many people used to say, इसके पास third eye है, don't go to him, it is all intuitive, don't take any this thing, he is different. That was the time I stepped out into the teaching world. For 30 years, 25 years, I never stepped out. I was doing my practice, I was happy with my practice. But when people started saying, don't go to Dr. Vijayakar's clinic for training because he's got intuitive eyes and etc., the results are different and you will not get the same result. That was the time when I decided that I had to come out into the open and teach the youngsters. And I insist, even today, intuition means what? Even you can be intuitive. What is intuition? What is the meaning of intuition? Come on, anybody? Huh? Yeah? Sense?
Instinct.
Huh?
Instinct. It's an instinct.
Instinct. Instinct. Yes. Anybody else? Intuition? Intuition यानी क्या होता है? What is intuition?
Feeling.
हाँ? Intuition यानी क्या? नहीं मालूम? तो ब्रेक करो वर्ड को. ट्यूशन का मतलब क्या है? Teaching. Tuition is teaching, not learning. You are giving, somebody is giving tuition and somebody is taking tuition. Na? So, a tutor, teacher. So, tuition means teaching. When the teachings and your learning, of course, become so clear and so inherent, they go into you, inside you, it becomes intuition. Do you understand this? When you are climbing up your staircase in your house, or you are going up the familiar railway platform or railway bridge, are you looking down and climbing? Because it is a daily affair. लेकिन यहाँ पे आते समय तुमको देखना पड़ेगा भाई, how high is the step. So this here you are not. This thing is not into you. It is not become inherent. It is not become a reflex action. Whereas at your home, everything is inherent. It has become imbibed into your genetic or code or into your reflex action or whatever it is. So intuition. Intuition means some teaching which has gone inside you so much that you become completely reflex prescriber. Do you understand what I am trying to tell you? So this is what you have to do. And when will this happen? If the teaching is good. If the teaching is good, it will find its own place because here you should, this teaching is not just mugging up, it has to be logic. Logic ko your brain will accept immediately. Illogical things, your brain will always be in a quarrel with it. It will always be disputed. नहीं यार ये ऐसा नहीं हो सकता, ऐसा कैसे? But if it is logical, it will be immediately imbibed by you. For in your logical mind, it will go and fit into you, and then this will become an inherent part of you, and that's why you call it that. Now this knowledge has imbibed into you so much that you can now prescribe intuitively and get intuitive results, fast results. So this is what I want each and every one of you to do. Last year we had a seminar on all the followers of Predictive Homoeopathy. Not a seminar, it was a competition. And I am happy to say that there are more than 500, 600 entries which came into us to show the best results, who have shown the best results. And we had 3 trophies. One was Hahnemann trophy, another was Boningerson trophy, and the third one was Herring's trophy. Herring's trophy was for the person who could show best result in a reversible fashion, best understanding of law of cure. The Boningerson trophy was supposed to be for some pathological work, incurable work, which somebody could show. And Hahnemann trophy was something that should be exclusive, the best. And we selected almost 32 youngsters from them, and believe it or not, we had said we don't want any cases of any ordinary cases. Any ordinary cases means what? We had told them not to send in diabetes, asthma, rheumatoid arthritis, hypertension, eczema, psoriasis, leukoderma. These are ordinary cases, mind you. You'll be shocked. These are ordinary cases from a homeopath standpoint of view, if you know homeopathy correctly. And another thing is that these are cases where anybody, even an allopath, can give result. Allopath can control your blood pressure, allopath can control your hypertension, allopath can control your diabetes, allopath can control your arthritic pains, etc. by giving steroids. So what is so great about it? So we said no, wherever allopaths cannot do anything, we want such cases, and believe it or not, 32 doctors, each one of them having two cases. There have been 64 cases were exhibited in the hall, and I am very proud to say that time I said I am very proud that 10 years of my teaching, 2001 I started Predictive Homoeopathy. It's only 10-year-old. Many other homeopaths have been teaching for last 25, 30, 40 years. But I stepped into the field when people were getting discouraged. So only in 10 years time, my students and students have started showing cases which were mind-boggling. And that's why that time I mentioned I am happy that these incurable cases are no more my monopoly. And that is what every teacher should be proud about. That you should be proud that this student is doing good, better and better than him. That he has to show that the student showing case better than his father or the guru is the best thing which a guru can expect, a teacher can expect. So that is why I am telling you that the teacher is known by his followers or the results of his followers. Now when can this occur? When this can be achieved? Because I'll tell you very frankly, there are so many teachers in this field, homeopathic field. Everybody is trying to say that I am right and they take this in this direction. So what? Go. Nobody stops you from going. But you have to be wise enough. Now I know you all are all homeopaths, you are all doctors. You have to keep your eyes open and see whether these cases, whether this particular school, what is the limitation of the school and what is the scope of the school. What are the students doing? What are the followers? Where are the followers and what are the results? And you gauge that from the percentage of marks which this thing will get, that particular school of thought will get, is from the result which their students are giving and the results which that particular person is giving. That means what is the scope? What is the scope of you becoming a homeopath? I think this was a question must have been asked to you so many times in the clinic, right? So what is the scope of homeopathy? पूछते हैं क्या तुम लोग? तो क्या है स्कोप क्या है? I know what is the answer. हम लोग को भी सिखाया था ना. Surgical disease, hernia doesn't count. It is surgical disease, tumor, surgical disease, etc., etc. No. The scope of homeopathy is homeopath himself. Scope and limits of homeopathy is homeopath himself. आपके नॉलेज के ऊपर डिपेंडेंट है कि आप क्या क्या ठीक कर सकते हो. If you have understood homeopathy properly, if you have understood Hahnemann properly, then there is no limits. Where has Hahnemann mentioned this? निकालो. Before that, I will introduce Dr. Mayur Sonawane, who has been arranging our seminars, lectures, etc. and the clinic. Next to him is Dr. Avtar Singh from Jalandhar. See the passionateness of this man. He came leaving his own clinic, his father's clinic, here to study here. For 3 years he has been with me, studying here day in and day out. And today, after 3 years, he's gone back again. Of course, now he's on short leave here. And he's gone back there and doing roaring practice there and carrying on the work, fantastic work of spreading my teachings everywhere. There's one Dr. Castro from Chandigarh, who is an aged-old man, very old man who started a lot of colleges in Punjab and is a very highly revered classical good homeopath, known for good results. When he went there and he showed his result, he was shocked because his son, his father, Dr. Mavi, was Castro's student, who later on started following me. And Dr. Castro was surprised. He said that I never thought that homeopathy could be beyond me. But at this age of 75, he was so, had so much of conviction. इधर है ना? इधर है, आगे आओ. इधर है. So much of conviction and so much of passion to learn right homeopathy that this 75-year-old man called him to give lectures in his college and teach his students and his assistants what is going on in predictive homeopathy in Bombay. And he is going there every month or something? Every month. And Dr. Castro himself sits and writes down and takes the notes. This is what should be there. There is no ego there now. And he is ready to learn from a youngster. ऐसा नहीं तो क्या होता है आजकल के बच्चों को क्या आता है? वो क्या सिखाएगा? क्या पढ़ाएगा मुझे? क्या कैसे? You brush it off. you never know from where you can learn. And then the final straw came when Dr. Castro himself got attacked and he landed up in hospital and he was in coma. It was a year back.
Yes.
Year back. And when from the phone myself and his father discussed and we gave him one medicine, doctors had given up hope completely that he will not come out of it. He was on ventilator, but at that age of 75, only with homeopathy, with no allopathy, he came out and is back again to his roaring self. This is the beauty and this is the art of homeopathy. That if you know homeopathy, if you know, next to the camera. So that is why if you want to become a good homeopath, you have to have passion. You come to me, I will teach you, but it should be without any expectations. With एक ही expectation that I want to become a good homeopath, I want to take as much as I can. And this is what will make you, see, your college days are over. Now nobody is going to come and teach you ABCD or Arnika, Nakswamika, Palchitla, etc. Now it is a time for you to take, to grab. If you are coming to a teacher, then grab from him whatever knowledge he has. Whatever he is throwing out, he should grab. And then you are always at liberty to ask questions. Remember this, you are always at liberty to ask questions. Nobody should go without his question being answered. Be comfortable. ऐसे मत समझना कि सर क्या सोचेंगे, सर बोलेंगे ये पागल है, इसको इतना नहीं आता है, गलत है. स्टूडेंट्स को नहीं आता है ना, ABCD सिखाते हैं तभी बच्चे लोग को क्या आता है? कुछ नहीं आता है. But you have to learn and you have to have that passion to learn, and then only then you will come up in life. So now, how many of you all know what is homeopathy? Chalo, now we know that most of you all have come because allopathy doors were closed, like me. So I am very comfortable. You are like me. So you also have a good chance of coming up. I was a pure allopath. Let me tell you. I am telling you my history very frankly. I was a pure allopath, practicing allopathy. And one fine day, what I did was, I saw somebody having warts, and I told him, "Chao, ये Dr. Mano Patel है, उनके पास जाओ, and he will cauterize it." उन्होंने cauterize किया, all the warts got cleared. There were numerous warts. All warts got cleared. And then he came and said, "देखो सर, क्या? Thank you very much. आपने बहुत अच्छे डॉक्टर का नाम दिया." ठीक है. After 6 months, वापिस वो warts आ गए. Again he came. तो मैं बोला, ऐसे कैसे आया? उसको जाके पूछो, ऐसा क्यों आया? बोलते सर हम लोग गए थे वहाँ, लेकिन उन्होंने बोला वो तो आने वाला ही है, वापस काट देते हैं. तो मैंने बोला हाँ ठीक है, काट दो. तो बोलते कि डॉक्टर साहब, उनका नाम था सरजू प्रसाद तिवारी, वो उसका लड़का था, तो वो लड़के के हाथ पे था. तो मुझे बोलता है, डॉक्टर साहब आप पास तो होम्योपैथिक कॉलेज से हुए ना? हाँ, तो आप होम्योपैथी क्यों नहीं देते? इसमें वार्ड्स के लिए बहुत होम्योपैथी अच्छी होती है, सबको मालूम है. ऑल पीपल नो दैट. तो मेरे को ऐसा शर्म के मारे की उनको ऐसा हो गया. ठीक है देता हूँ, मैं कोशिश करता हूँ, मुझे कुछ आता नहीं है लेकिन कोशिश करता हूँ. And during our time, you were not exposed to anything. Our OPDs used to be useless. Lectures were hardly there. 3.5 साल में तो हम लोग डॉक्टर बन गए. तो वो लोग तो 5.5 साल निकाले. फिर मैंने बोला क्या करेंगे? रेपर्टरी खोला, what's on hand. ब्लैक में कुछ है और थोड़ा लाइट में आइटलिक्स में है. सब दवा निकाला, मिक्स किया और दे दिया. एंड लो एंड बिहोल्ड, 1 महीने के बाद आके बोलते हैं, अरे डॉक्टर साहब आप तो भगवान है, मेरे सब पहुंच गए. एक्चुअली ऐसे होता है, homeopaths generally get surprised by the result. उसी ने मेरे असिस्टेंट में से गया, सर उसको दिखने लगा। अरे दिखने के लिए तो दवा दिया था ना। Homeopaths get surprised by their own results. It's unfortunate. सर अभी तक जिंदा है, तो मरने के लिए दवा दिया था। तो ऐसे करके अब मैंने चलो मैं फिर ऐसा लगा दे होम्योपैथी देखो। डॉक्टर साहब आपको अगर इतना अच्छा होम्योपैथी आता है तो होम्योपैथी क्यों नहीं क्लिनिक क्यों नहीं खोलते हैं? तो मेरे आई हैव दिस थिंग ऑफ जोकिंग ना, बस मैंने बोला खाली एक काम करो, आई डोंट हैव मेरे पास जगह नहीं है, जगह दे दो। किधर पैसा किधर लेने के लिए जगह, इसलिए पिताजी के क्लिनिक में इधर इंजेक्शन देते बैठता हूँ। कुछ नहीं बोला, क्या 2 दिन के बाद आया मेरे को एक चाबी देता है, डॉक्टर साहब ये मेरी जगह है विजय पार्ले में, आप जाके उधर अपने हम लोग चालू करो। तो आई वाज टेकन अबैक, ज्यादा ही पास निकला। क्या करूँ मैं बोला, लेकिन मेरे पास ना पैसा है तुमको देने के लिए, ना डिपॉजिट है, ना रिश्ते हैं। डॉक्टर साहब मैंने कुछ मांगा है क्या? जगह आपकी है, जाओ जाके बैठो। लेकिन एक ही है, वहाँ चाय के मेरे चाय का दुकान था, बंद हो गया, चलता नहीं था, इसलिए चाय के डब्बे वो होता है ना ऐसे खोल के ऐसा उसमें होता है ना मिक्सचर नंबर 7, मिक्सचर नंबर 4, तो ऐसे सब POP लिखा होता है उसमें, ऐसे सब ये पढ़े ऐसे उसको पढ़े रहे। तो बोला गया, एक ही रूम था 8 बाय 10 का, 10 बाय 8 का या 10 बाय 10 का एक रूम था। बोला ठीक है जाओ, गया उधर, आई वेंट एंड सॉ दैट वाज देयर। बोला अच्छा है कि एग्जामिनेशन टेबल नहीं बनाना पड़ेगा, गद्दी लाके उसके ऊपर रख दिया, बीच में एक पार्टीशन डाल दिया और बैठ गया, दवा वाला चालू कर दिया कि होम्योपैथी चैरिटेबल होम्योपैथिक क्लिनिक, क्योंकि पैसा चार्ज करने के लिए डर लगता था, आता नहीं है तो क्या करें। एंड फ्रॉम देयर स्टार्टेड माय होल ट्रैवल। फर्स्ट डे एक लड़की आई ऐसा अंदर, एक कंपाउंडर डॉक्टर है अंदर। अरे यार मैं कंपाउंडर दिखता हूँ। दूसरे दिन के बाद में I started wearing that, आज तक पहनता हूँ, आज ही नहीं पहनता। मुझ बढ़ा लिया थोड़ा, ऐसा नहीं है कि कंपाउंडर लोग को पूछने होती है, लेकिन उस टाइम में थोड़ा बड़ा दिखने का था, इसलिए I was so thin, lean, emaciated like a tuberculosis. तो ऐसे करके होम्योपैथी शुरू की। I started with mixtures, I started with first allopathy, then mixtures, then I gradually metamorphosized. And then people were laughing at me, homeopath, तू homeopath बन गया, तुम लोग को भी ऐसे पूछते हैं इस तरह होम्योपैथी बाजू में रख, नहीं तो बंकस करेंगे। अरे तुम पूछा कि नहीं तेरा फादर कितने बार गिरा है, कितने बार फ्रैक्चर हुआ है? तो I think there was one play on the television also coming ना, वो जाके हिस्ट्री लेता है, डॉक्टर होता सरदार जी ना, तो जाके हिस्ट्री लेता है एक पॉलिटिशियन का, तुम इलेक्शन कितने बार हारे, कितने वोट से हारे, अभी कितने वोट से हारे क्या करना है? This is how people started mocking at homeopathy, and that is why I decided no, there has to be something in this science. What is there in this science that has attracted a man like Dr. Hahnemann, एक MD? Why he should be called here? Why should he be pulled into this side? Why did he leave aside his particular, MD and allopathic science? Anybody? Why? क्यों छोड़ा हानेमैन ने होम्योपैथी ये एलोपैथी?
वो was disappointed with the answer.
डिसअपॉइंटेड तो ऐसे तो बहुत होते हैं ना, औरत के साथ डिसअपॉइंटमेंट में क्या होते हैं, ऐसा थोड़ा था.
When his child fell sick, the allopathy didn't help his children.
That is one. And
The harsh
yes, she's right. What else?
The
What was the?
harsh
It was a all combined effect. What was it? Huh?
Translating Culex Materia Medica, he experimented upon
No, that was later. That was later. पहले उससे why did it? उसको टाइम कैसे मिला? कनिंगम ये करने के लिए, I mean that Materia Medica या scripture translate करने के लिए.
the harsh method.
He was a very successful physician. It was a harsh method. Okay. What else? No permanent cure is the right word. No permanent cure. That means relapsing. Plus, as she said, that his son could not be helped. Isn't it? So, this combined effect, he thought that this science is going somewhere wrong. This science is going somewhere wrong. Let us see this short introduction to that. First of all, tell me whether you know the difference between allopathy and homeopathy. How many people don't know? They don't be ashamed. इसमें कुछ नहीं. See, please, यहाँ आने का खाली बेशरम लोग नहीं आने का. If you want to learn, you have to become बेशरम. शर्म रखेंगे तो कभी तुमको मिलने वाला नहीं है कुछ भी. Your embarrassment, your sankochi vritti will keep you hidden inside. This is inhibited. If you want knowledge, come out in the open. Anybody who doesn't know the difference? Everybody knows the difference. Huh? Yeah, you don't know the difference between them. Oh, very good. I like her honesty. This is transparency begins here now. See, this is what I want. It is not, see, हर एक आदमी को हर एक चीज मालूम होना चाहिए. Everybody should be omniscient. No. Nobody in this world, even the wisest, even the Nobel laureate, will not be knowing everything in this world. Why? That doesn't make you or stamp you as an idiot. Remember this. So, why is it so? Because your vision is limited. Everybody's vision is limited. Now, what is this limited vision? What is limited vision? We don't have a board yet now. Okay. Now, suppose you just stand up. Now, you are standing, looking ahead, right? Stand just straight and turn your head. How many? Until which row you can see? 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. This side? 4. So your vision is limited to this much arc. You can see first, second, third, fourth. This arc is your vision. That doesn't mean that nobody is sitting behind. So what is this area? That area. The whole is how much? 360 degrees. Out of which how much you can see? 180. Yeah, almost 270 or something, 250 degrees. लेकिन पीछे का जो हिस्सा है, 1/4 of the circle is completely blind to her. Same is the case with your knowledge. Knowledge is anything. Any knowledge is only limited to your sight. If you have been exposed to this much, you will see this much. If you have not been exposed to this, for her, those people do not exist. She doesn't have the knowledge of them. Do you understand this? So that is why somebody not knowing something is not his fault. He has not been exposed to that. So what is, now tell me, what is the difference? कोई भी आके खड़ा होके मुझे बोले. Why did Hahnemann discover homeopathy? What was the necessity? We know necessity is the mother of all inventions. Necessity is the mother of all. So there was some necessity. And the necessity was that, let us know, he sacrificed his MD degree for this toddler science. Why? Because the existing science 200 years back could not offer any permanent solution to all the things. Now you read these diseases. 200 years back, asthma, allergies, recurrent bronchitis, diabetes, high blood pressure, arthritis, thyroid, psoriasis, cancer, tumor, insanity, mania, etc. all were incurable. Okay? All were incurable, and yet, next year, and today, after 200 years, we say science has advanced. Science advanced ho gaya na? Anybody, this thing, doctors, sons and daughters? Only 1, 2, 3, 4, ऐसे बहुत है. So ask your father or ask your father. We are not going against any science. We are just trying to find out whether they can cure all this. No, they can only control it. So even the science that he left 200 years back has advanced, they say, but all these things are still not curable. They are only controllable. So the pathy is only controlopathy. Right. A science which was that he discovered, homeopathy was discovered by Hahnemann because a science that was supposed to be better than allopathy he wanted. He wanted a system of medicine which was better than what he was practicing. A science that could treat the incurable cases with ease. A science that could treat, ये कौन सा aphorism है? क्या है aphorism second? Highest is first. Sorry, ideal. Second one is? Ideal cure. Should be? Gentle. A science that could treat emergencies with ease. With emergencies also. I will mention about one case of emergency just कल की बात. हम लोग का day in and day out चलते रहता है. 2 days back, one patient got completely drenched in sweat. He became completely excessive perspiration. He became cold and clammy. He started shivering and he almost collapsed. He went into unconsciousness. He was moved to the hospital and doctor admitted him and said that he was having malaria. Hospital किधर गई? Hospital क्या हुआ था? Malaria.
They detected UTI, but treated with malaria to quinine to calcium.
So he was diagnosed as UTI, urinary tract infection with malaria. So he was given quinine also. You know what are the side effects of quinine? What happens with quinine? Side effects of quinine निमालूम? Quinine का homeopathy में कुछ importance है? So what is the importance of quinine? अरे quinine is the birthstone of homeopathy. Foundation stone of homeopathy is quinine. Quinine के ऊपर पूरी homeopathy उठी है. So he was given quinine and after which one by one all organs started failing. He went into complete coma. क्या हो गया उसका? Creatinine बढ़ गया, bilirubin बढ़ गया, और क्या?
Creatinine increase is SGOT, SGPT and serum ammonia increase.
Serum ammonia increased. That means what? Liver failure. Liver went into failure. Kidney went into failure. Heart was already weak, and he was kept on ventilator. And doctor said, कुछ बोल नहीं सकता. He may not come out. Multi-organ failure. And then the daughter came and she was crying. He's a film producer, film cameraman. or something like that, very eminent person. She started crying, "Doctor, please, please do something." They have given up hopes. I said, "He will come out by evening or latest by tomorrow morning." And I give nothing but Naxobi. क्योंकि ये सब डिजीज हो गया है कि किसकी वजह से? ड्रगिंग. खाली इतना ही पूछा, before he went into this, was he very angry or very cool and calm? The disposition was angry when obliged to answer. क्योंकि बात पूछेंगे तो छोड़ो, मुझे तकलीफ मत देना. So as you are thinking also, he was not in a mood to answer anybody's question. You are feeling cold, chilly. And he was a achiever. Kari Naxwamika 200 diya. Only local application. That also parenterally, I mean on the skin. And I told her by evening let me know. So evening में Dr. Smithal को phone आया. He has opened his eyes. परसों की बात है. Yesterday, that fellow got up. He ran me up and he was talking to me. अरे डॉक्टर साहब कहाँ आके गिर गया मैं, यहाँ कहाँ ला मुझे आके इस लोग ने लाके पटक दिया. डॉक्टर साहब मुझे घर जाना है. निकलो वहाँ से. Because if you keep him there, they will kill him. Because his constitution is probably Naxwamika, and Naxwamika does not tolerate any remedies. And so easily this man came out, and the doctors there were just sacked. The same thing had happened with my own brother. My brother, this case has been put on the net not by me but by English homeopaths. Because my brother was cousin rather, in Scotland. He was on the ship where he got fever. For fever, he walked down to, he was offloaded from the ship onto Scotland, saying that you are having high fever, we will not take you on the ship, please get down. So on the northernmost tip of UK, that is at Aberdeen, he was taken to the hospital there and dumped into the hospital. He went there walking nicely, and as soon as he went there, they started the treatment. Within 3 to 4 hours, he started getting respiratory problem. His kidney started failing, his lungs, his liver started failing, his heart became weak, and he was put on ventilator and went into coma. And we got a message here that he is sinking. Please tell some relative to come here. No relative, we don't have any relative in United Kingdoms. His wife and all abroad in US on a different trip, and he was there. So I told one of my, suddenly I remembered that one of my students, or rather now full-fledged practitioner, Dr. Praveen Kumar, who was in Birmingham giving lectures on predictive homeopathy. I told him, you take a first flight and reach Aberdeen. He said, Dr. साहब लेकिन फ्लाइट तो नहीं जा रही है यार, क्योंकि कितना फॉग है, और कैसे भी करके वहाँ पहुँचना है और पहुँचाना, नहीं तो ये गया. तो उन लोग ने मल्टी ऑर्गन फेलियर, वायरल ये दिया है. वायरल यानी उन लोग को मालूम ही नहीं होता क्या होता है. तो कुछ नहीं समझता तो वायरल, क्योंकि वो दिखने वाला नहीं, प्रूव करने वाले नहीं उन लोग. तो मैंने बोला आप भी क्या अभी तो उधर से दवा लेके जाना. तो मैंने 3-4 दवाई बोला क्या क्या है. Then I talked to his wife who had a communication with him on the phone, and she told me the symptom. So she said he walked in there, that time he was having only fever, but then they put him on some antibiotics, after which he became very irritable. Within 3-4 hours and 5-6 hours, he became irritable. He started, when she rang up again, he was not ready to answer, etc. This is typical of Naxwamika. Remember, Naxwamika patient will not come and tell you, मैंने allopathic दवा दिया इसलिए मैं बीमार पड़ गया. You have to infer. Your questioning should be like that. कि क्या हुआ था, इसके पहले क्या होता, इसके पहले क्या होता, इसके पहले क्या होता. And I told him to take Naxwamika. बोलते डॉक्टर साहब उधर कोई अंदर जाने नहीं देंगे. I contacted first of all Dr. David Whitco from London. He said I am not going to go because Dr. Vijayakar, you don't know this is UK. This is not India. Nobody can go just walk into an ICU. Least of all a homeopath. मैं बोला, yes, I know. UK people, you Britishers cannot walk in, but our Indian will walk in. And I sent one of the most, I say, man, you know. Dr. Praveen Kumar, who happens to be a very big man in the northern India, because he is a collector of Faridabad, that is neighboring to Delhi. He went there. He drove down 850 miles, that is 1,200 kilometers. शाम को 7 बजे से चालू किया ड्राइविंग करना नॉन स्टॉप. ओनली उधर में सर मैं खाली 2 ही बार रुका, एक पेशाब करने के लिए और गैस भरने के लिए. No money on his, hardly some few dollars found with him, no clothes to wear. Straight away from Birmingham, he did not come back to London. Birmingham, he took off with a car, hired car, went to Scotland. He entered Aberdeen Hospital and he went and applied the medicine which I told him, Naxwamika. मैंने बोला 1-1 घंटे के बाद, तो मैंने बोला आपको अंदर कैसे जाने दिया? बोलते हैं उन्होंने पूछा कौन है? मेरा ब्रदर. तो हमारे यहाँ सब भाईचारा है ना, all Indians are brothers. And one wise thing what he did was, sir, मुझे खाली एक बता दीजिएगा कि मैं वहाँ जाऊँगा तभी मैं वहाँ जाऊँगा तो लोग मुझे पूछेंगे तुम्हारा रिलेशन क्या है? तो रिलेशन क्या है? What is the relation? So the relation is only, ब्रदर बोलेंगे तो पूछेंगे कि तुम्हारा ये क्या है? What is the proof that you are the brother of this man? तो मेरे से सब लिखा के लिया while driving. हाँ, उनके वाइफ का नाम क्या है, उनके मम्मी का नाम क्या है, उनके बच्चे का नाम क्या है, उनके बहू का नाम क्या है, सब लिखा के लेके गया. And he went there and said everything by heart. बोला मैं ऐसे हूँ and this is his address. और अब एड्रेस मैच हो गया and you could go inside and apply this. Within 2 hours, this my brother opened his eyes. 2 hours. और उसने मुझे फोन किया, सर 2 घंटे में आँख तो खुली है और रेस्पिरेशन अभी थोड़ा ठीक लग रहा है, उनको ये जो टाइम स्ट्रोक ब्रीदिंग का कम हो गया. वंडरफुल, दवाई काम कर गई है, शाम तक होश में आ जाएगा. By evening, completely he opened his eyes and he started looking here and there. Next day morning, he was completely out of it, and believe it or not, this man gave him bath, scrubbed him completely, gave दवाई से जो उधर हंगामा हो गया. They called a meeting in Aberdeen Hospital saying the miraculous and skyrocketing recovery of Mr. Sudhir Kothari. We want to have a meeting. Everybody joined together. They said it was not diagnosed what it was. Yet how did he recover? There was no change in medical line of treatment. And yet how did he recover? Nobody knew. Everybody was scratching their head. And finally, when the discharge was taken, this man, who is a very bold man, Mr. Praveen Kumar, he went there and made a note there. Please make a note after getting discharged that this man has recovered with homeopathy and not with remedies. This case was become very famous there. So this is the easily, see, we did not give any injection, nothing, not even anything in the mouth. हम लोग जो दवा देते हैं तो खाली वास देते हैं या तो ये देते हैं सर, and the patient comes out. This is the beauty of homeopathy if you know how to practice it correctly. Now we will go ahead. Science that could treat emergencies with ease and science that could stand the test of time. What do you mean by test of time?
How long is it? How rapid is it?
Yes, the same Naxwamika which Dr. Hahnemann had proved. Same is effective in the same single dose today. the same arnica, the same pulsatilla, the same lycopodium, उसमें कुछ फेरबदल हुआ है? नहीं. लेकिन एलोपैथी में जो एंटीबायोटिक 1950 में, when I was young, 50s, 54, 55, 56 में कुछ एलेम्बिक ने पहला पेनिसिलिन निकाला. That penicillin injection is obsolete. उसके बाद में टेट्रासाइक्लिन आया, obsolete. Then क्या क्या नहीं आया? Doxycycline आया, ampicillin आया, amoxicillin आया. Everything gets obsolete, and a third generation of antibiotics comes up. Third and fourth generation अभी चालू हो गया. So there, why, if they call themselves scientific, you ask your parents, if you call yourself scientific, why are your methods only temporary? Why your particular antibiotic is working only today and tomorrow it changes? They say resistant strains. Resistant strains. Because they are killing the bacteria. The bacteria adopt a new strain. And why do you think our medicines don't change? What is the difference? Huh? Tell me now, why homeopathic medicines don't change? Huh? We don't kill the bacteria. Everybody agrees? Eh? Why you don't? And then yet, why the patient should get better? Immunity develops, patient becomes immune, so the bacteria become lesser and lesser. Then they do not get nourishment from the tissue and they live. Next, please. That's why your arnica, your naxomica, your rustox, your pulsatilla will act equally effectively even if you go to the moon. Maybe antibiotics will not work there. Because bacteria will be different there. 200 years have passed. How much better are we? Next. What are the results and where are the cures of our homeopaths? Next. Again. All this misconception. So, now where are the results? Why do homeopaths till today also, why they rush to an allopath when they are ill? Any question, any answer? When this man, Hahnemann, kicked off a science which was supposed to be so scientific and effective, and joined tried to find out a new science. His followers were all MDs. Who were they? Kent, Tyler, Czar. Of course, Boningassen was not MD, but most of them were MDs. And then that means there are two reasons. Either they were all fools, or they were wise people, isn't it? So now you have to decide whether they are fools or wise people. Go ahead. Go ahead. So let us see now what is this thing between allopathy and homeopathy. Allopathy is the disease in man. That means the bacteria are killed by the antibiotics. But when this thing changes, then it will not be effective. The strain changes, it will not be effective. If the blood pressure is high, they bring it down. If the blood sugar is high, they bring it down. So this is how they treat the disease in man. And whereas we treat the man in disease. Next, go ahead. Homeopathists, okay, we'll touch this later on. Next. What is man in disease? Okay, later on. In medicaments, in medicines which they give, allopathy gives material doses. ये सब तुम लोग को कॉलेज अपना youngsters second year first year के लिए फायदेमंद है. Material doses, crude doses, solid substances are used, whereas we use immaterial doses. We use substances that are converted to dynamic form, and then more than one medicines are used in allopathy. इतने सारे खिचड़ी पकाते बेलपुरी करके देते हैं. We use only one. Multiple doses are required. Here only one dose is required. Minimum. Next. mirror image है ना वो सब. This is a mirror image. So in case history, more importance is given to particulars like headache हो रहा है, diarrhea हो रहा है, vomiting हो रहा है. Less importance is given to generals like sleep, stamina, strength, etc. Or irritability. Least importance to the mind. They don't ask you कि तुम्हारे mind को क्या हो रहा है. कुछ नहीं पूछते हैं. खाली दवा ले लो. तुम्हारा डायरिया बंद होना चाहिए. Homeopathy, most important mind and generals and less importance to particular. Exactly opposite. Exactly mirror image. Next. In follow-up. Then in follow-up, why should we consider there, if homeopathy is completely mirror image of allopathy, why do we consider, why do you consider, why do homeopaths consider? Curious was given and this, yes Dorothy, there are 2-3 chairs, how many will you take? Then, the patient that was brought to me, the small child, the swelling is the same. Urine has slightly started coming out. The child had complete arrest of urine. But the patient said, the father said that he has started eating. आज 2-3 दिन से 3-4-5 दिन से खाया नहीं था, खाने लगा है. रो रहा था, रोने का बंद हो गया है. खेल नहीं रहा था, खेलने लगा है. So for me, that is more important. That this child has started improving from the mind and the generals. Mentally he has become more playful. Generals are better, like appetite, etc. To hell with this. It has to follow. Why? I will tell you later. But ये जो है, this is so important that it is for us. We look at the generals and the mentals and the particulars have to follow. But yet our homeopaths are worried about the reports. Always worried about the reports. And I, for one, I told them, hands off, cure has begun, don't touch. This is the conviction you should have in homeopathy. And this conviction will come only if you know your parameters. What should go first and what should not go first. So law of cure is very important. Without law of cure, there is no homeopathy. Mind you, if somebody says that homeopathy can be done like allopathy without the law of cure, it is humble, is misleading. Next. In a similar context, I would like to mention one child who had come with bronchitis, who had come with very high bilirubin and sleeplessness, crankiness, WBC count was very high, and allopathic medicines had failed. I gave, when I saw that child who was being carried and continuously, I got out his journals, I got out his physicals, and I prescribed Sina. And after Sina, within 24 hours, I told them to report with the blood report and urine report. Urine report showed that serum pus cells had increased in the urine. Blood report showed that the bilirubin had gone up. Okay, chest congestion still existed. And mother said, but Kaikale is weak, your son. Yesterday he slept well, which he had not slept for 8 days. He asked for food which he had not asked for 8 days. For me, that was more important, that the disease had disappearance had begun. And body has to follow. Why I am giving you multiple examples is to endorse upon you that the generals and the mentals are more important than the physicals, especially in physiological cases, mind you. Especially in psoric cases, not in syphilis and psychosis. Not in the terminal stages. But in this is important. And that's why I knew, I just kept my hands off when my assistants were worried that, sir, first cells have gone up. Sir, bilirubin has gone up. Nothing doing. It has to come down. That's it. And on the fourth day, the whole picture changed. First cells were not there in the urine, only on one dose of serum. First cells had gone, bilirubin had gone, the chest had cleared, and the child was back to normal. For 10 days, allopaths were struggling to cure him, and one dose made all the difference. So one dose makes the difference, remember, because I just stimulated his immunity to cure himself. Now, that is why I said the parameters exactly are opposite. So how can you depend on their parameters? Don't depend on their parameters because they are exactly opposite. Next. For them, blood pressure नीचे आया ना, भले वो काइन की हो. First cells नीचे आया ना, भले वो काइन की हो, खाना नहीं खाता हो. When they treat with antibiotics, the child loses appetite, child loses sleep, child becomes very cranky. And allopathy say, doesn't matter, but the fever has come down now, first cells are gone now, finish. This is the exact opposite picture between allopathy and homeopathy. But then, that is giving rise to suppression, or that will come back again with a bang. Whereas in our case, it will not come back with a bang. As I said, homeopathy medicine do not cure disease and symptoms. We have no cure for cold, cough, diarrhea, dysentery, asthma, diabetes, arthritis, etc. If anybody asks you, कोई भी पूछेगा कि can you cure hair fall, can you cure diabetes, say no. Say no. Because we don't cure the disease in man, we cure the man in disease. हमारे सामने लेके आओ, फिर वो कैंसर हो या एड्स हो, कोई वादा नहीं. For a homeopath, cancer and cold are synonymous. Very funny, huh? But it is not really so, huh? Next. So we just stimulate to cure. Why only one dose? Can anybody tell me? Why only one dose? Chalo, let us have your understanding about all homeopaths. Come on. Already homeopaths, huh? First out. Why only? Why only one dose helps? How do we cure? Tell me, how do we cure? हम लोग कैसे cure करते हैं? By stimulation of the vital force, which is immunity, that the body is supposed to cure itself. आज इतने सालों से ह्यूमन बीइंग इस दुनिया में रह रहा है, डॉक्टर्स थे क्या? मिलियंस ऑफ इयर्स बैक? नो. आज 2000 साल से तो डॉक्टर्स आए. तो उस पहले क्या था? पहले कुछ था? Was there anything like a medical profession? Nothing. Millions of years back. When God sent Adam and Eve, the hypothetical first two people on this earth, and he told them that go there and you will have to live there, so you might fall ill. I am giving you one allopath, homeopath, you know me. He didn't give us anything. Ekla chal. Akela chal. Go there alone. Live there alone. I am giving you everything inside your computerized human body. That you have to cure yourself. Whatever happens to you, you will cure yourself. So he gave us the immune system, which is known as the internal resident medical officer. ये अपना रेसिडेंट मेडिकल ऑफिसर है, लेकिन वो कभी सोता है, कभी वीक पड़ जाता है, तभी अपने को उसको स्टिमुलेट करना पड़ता है. उठ. हम लोग जब ये हाउसमैनशिप करते थे, सो जाते रात को, फिर कोई ना कोई उठाने का है, सर डॉक्टर साहब इमरजेंसी, डॉक्टर साहब, तभी उठते हैं. तो दैट टाइम we have to, when the immune system is sleeping, we have to stimulate it to cure itself. So let us now try to understand this. That homeopathy, they say homeopathy is the nature's law of cure. Nature's dependent on nature's law of cure, na? Why do they say that? Why do they say that homeopathy depends on, I mean, is very near to nature?
Derived from that.
सब लोग बोलते तो है ना, नेचर लॉ, तो यही तो है. We have existed over the years on the basis of our immune system. We have existed here on the basis of our immune system. We have outlived even the dinosaurs. The human being is such a big and cruel animal. So, human being has outlived even the bigger species. All on the basis of what? Your immune system. And this immune system is a nature's method of cure. It is a nature's method of cure. And what are we doing? We are stimulating immunity, right? So we are producing an immunal balance or immunomodulation. Do you know what is immunomodulation? Wherever the immunity is increased, excessively increased, that means hypersensitivity is there. That hypersensitivity is put down and normalized, not lowered. Similarly, the lowered immune system is, so those who have got less immunity will also become better, and those who have got, so we are not giving, किसको ऐसा नहीं बोलना कभी कि हम immunity बढ़ाने के लिए दवा देते हैं, ऐसे we are giving medicine to immunomodulate. इसलिए if suppose somebody is on this thing, anti-diabetic, trying to lower down the sugar, okay, allopathy lowers the sugar, right? If right homeopathic medicine is given, he will not go into hypoglycemia, because the homeopathic medicine will balance. So to produce a balance inside the body is function of homeopathic liquids. Now, when we are talking about this, everything is nature's way, nature's law. Nature's law, na? Immunity is nature's law. I always say that this is mathematics. Homeopathy is mathematics. When I wrote on my book, in my MD, when I appeared for the MD, the MD is always a MAD course, but somebody who came to take my case, I take my exam, he asked me, I want you to strike that word, homeopathy is mathematics. I said, why? You remove that word, you are misleading students and doctors. I said, why? Because there cannot be mathematics in any science. I said, yes, any science will not have mathematics, but homeopathy has. Homeopathy is not any science. Friends, you are not aware that you are a part of a very huge and beautiful nature. If God has put you in this world, I don't know how many will be fortunate enough to become true homeopaths. We have got two types of homeopaths, true homeopaths and false homeopaths. True homeopaths are the ones who will be consistent and persistently prescribing and identifying themselves with nature. Now, Hahnemann himself, I said, has written this. First of all, he asked me, okay, how do you say that it is mathematics? I said, because the science says so. How can the science say so? Tell me what is mathematics in homeopathy. Is there any mathematics? What is it? Most important thing is it is based on nature's law of cure. Then, if it is mathematics, then there has to be mathematics in nature also. Is there any mathematics in nature? What is the mathematics in nature? So I told him, sir, let us take the vast universe. the this thing, what is that? Halley's comet comes to our solar system once in 75, 76 years. How can the scientists predict that आज इधर दिखने वाला है? That you will be seeing this Halley's comet on this day at this point? Is it possible? No. It is possible only with mathematics. That they calculate it on this day, it has to be seen at this degree or in this part of the sky at this time. Everything is given. Is it not mathematics? It is mathematics. Let us come down to the earth and the sun. The earth goes round the sun in how many days? 365 days. And the moon around the earth in 28 and fraction of a days. So ये 24-hour cycle है, 365 days cycle है, that will be all mathematics, isn't it? So the world is ruled by mathematics. Otherwise, how can you say that tomorrow at this very time it will be 24 hours? If there was no mathematics. So we come to a conclusion that even the solar system is run on mathematics. Now we'll come to the earth itself. Is there any mathematics on earth and nature?
Yes.
Is there any mathematics in earth and nature?
Yes.
के सब emotions से जाते हैं. The seasons. After winter will come. All over the world का बात करता हूँ. After winter comes spring straight away. फिर fall कभी आता है? Dorothy, after winter comes the fall. Then why it cannot be the other way around? Why autumn and fall cannot come before spring? Why summer cannot be after winter and then the spring? Because there is mathematics. Because there is mathematics. You cannot say that, अरे ये बात तो confusion है यार, मालूम नहीं है summer कभी आने वाला है. हाँ, बारिश के पहले आने वाला, बाद में आने वाला है, शायद मई महीना इस बार बाद में आएगा, दिसंबर में. It is not possible. So there is a rhythm. So what is, this is known as rhythm of nature. And if there is rhythm is mathematics. Rhythm means mathematics. So there is a rhythm. Now you come down to conception of man, production of man. Even to the trees you go. Trees also, what will come first? The fruit, the flower or the leaves? Leaves will come first, then flowers, and flower will be followed by fruit. It cannot be the other way around. There is a particular order in disorder. Remember, there is order in disorder. So you feel it is disordered, but there is an order. Then you come to the human being, conception. After conception, can a gynecologist tell you without sonography कितने महीने का हो गया बच्चा? नहीं? During my time when I was young in 1960s and 70s rather, 80s, there was no sonography. And the doctors used to say, okay, this is 6 weeks, 8 weeks, 9 weeks, है ना? Why? Because there is mathematics of growth. Can a gynecologist tell you when this lady is going to deliver?
Yes.
EDD. How? But how? Because there is mathematics. So the growth of a child in the womb is also mathematical. When the child comes out, if it does not come on time, before time or after time, we call it not normal. Isn't it? Then how should the child be born?
Normally.
Head first, feet have to follow. If it comes the other way, क्या होता है? Breach. Breach is what? What is the meaning of breach? Breach means what? Break. Or break in continuity, break of. Breach means it is the breach of law. That the law has been broken. So there is a law that everybody has to one like that. अगर नहीं आता है तो breach बोलते हैं. Most of them are syphilitic. Come like that. They will be constitutionally syphilitic. Anyway, that apart. So there also mathematics are there. Then holding of the head, turning of that baby in on the bed, trying to crawl, trying to sit, trying to stand, uttering words. Is it not a particular time which is given? अगर कोई बच्चा एक साल के बाद में अगर मुंडी पकड़ने लगता है तो उसको क्या होता है? Abnormal. है कि नहीं? So what is normal? Normal is mathematical. All milestones are mathematical. Remember this. That so much so now everything from conception to growth of the child. बच्चे को मुंह छाना, लेडीज को यानी मेल को मुंह छाना और लेडीज को मेंस्ट्रुएशन होना. The mustache is coming, the menses also coming is at a particular age of the lady. That is also mathematics. Maturing is also ruled by mathematics. If all this growth, conception and growth is in mathematical terminology, then what about the physiology? Is everything going by physiology or no? If we are working because of physiology, is there mathematics in physiology?
Yes.
Tell me some examples.
Blood pressure.
Huh? Menstrual cycle 28 days. What else?
Heartbeat.
Heartbeat. Everybody knows what is normal. Blood sugar, blood pressure, respiratory rate. Why they have given numbers then? If it is not mathematics. Do you get my point or no? So your whole living, your physiology is ruled by mathematics. Then why disease will not be mathematics? Why cure will not be mathematics? So the whole world is mathematics, and that is what Hahnemann has given in footnote number 106. That this healing art of homeopathy, if practiced properly, if the provings are done properly, if it is practiced properly, then the healing art will then come near the mathematical sciences in certainty. This is Hahnemann's word, not my word. I said, now you defy it. He failed to defy it. He got up and he said, thank you for bringing me to my place. But unfortunate thing is that nobody is practicing it properly. Nobody. And that's why we are finding a lot of uncertainty in homeopathy. Homeopathy is actually mathematics. Now what will make it mathematics, we'll see later on. So now we'll go to, so in allopathy what are we doing? If there is asthma, we treat it with bronchodilators. If there is diabetes, anti-diabetic, anti-hypertensive, antibiotic, fungal infection, allergies, anti-allergies, relief or control is observed. Next. But again recurrence occurs. Unfortunately, our homeopaths are substituting homeopathy here. You must have seen in your colleges some doctors prescribing Antim Ars and Blata Orientalis, etc. for dilatation. But homeopathy was never meant to be practiced in this manner. It was never meant to be practiced in this manner. So how will you get definite results? Anti-diabetic, anti-hypertensive, they give some that Syzygium jambulinum to bring down blood sugar. Anti-hypertensive, they give that gold drops. Cardiac drop. This is the Waterloo of homeopathy. You have to know where हम लोग ने कहाँ मार खाया है. Homeopaths have not understood the basis. Now you all told me that homeopathy is working on your immunity That means you are treating the man in disease. Then why are you going to treat disease in man? This is treating the disease like what allopaths are doing. Isn't it? Fever आएगा तो फेरम फॉस, नेट्रमोर, काली फॉस मिक्स करके तो पायरोजेनम, what nonsense they are doing. All this. If there is a tumor, homeopaths tell you go and get excised. This is the worst part, the saddest part, showing that the homeopaths have never understood homeopathy. Next. Yes, sir. I used to do that time. Same thing. Bronchodilators for asthma. Same thing. Go ahead. But what? Why we are not getting permanent result is because we are treating the effect and not the cause. And where is the cause? Next. वापिस होइए. नहीं आगे जाने का तुम पीछे आए. Treat the cause, effect will disappear. Where is the cause? Where is the cause? Immune system. Or immunity? क्या हो गया इधर? The cause of all the illness is in the. Everything is in the genes. थोड़ा कम करो. आवाज बहुत आता है. Next. बंद करने बोल खड़ा करके ले. So everything is responsible. Genes are responsible for everything, right? Next. So we have got from genes you get physical makeup. Genes are responsible for mental makeup. Genes are responsible for general makeup, and same genes are responsible for your disease makeup. Next. Cause of the थोड़ा बंद करने को बोलो. हैं? अमित को बंद करने को. ऐसी बंद करने को बोलो. हाँ बोला है. ये सब चिल्ली कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन थे. The cause of the disease is in the genes, and genes or genetic code is the one which controls your immune system. So what have you to do? You have to address to this. अगर कुछ भी यहाँ पे माइंड में, बॉडी में, किधर भी कुछ भी प्रॉब्लम है, तो address it to your genes, the genetic code, and then only then you will get miraculous results. Next. Today, allopaths, what are they doing? The scientists, ये चल रहा है कि नहीं चल रहा है? मेरा ही आवाज है. So, if they do not find any cure for anything, like motor neuron disease or anything like that, they will always go for stem cells. But unfortunately, our homeopaths were already given this by Hahnemann, and we were not intelligent enough to understand this. Hahnemann said, look at the whole body, take the whole history from head to foot. What is the meaning of that? What is the meaning of that? Aphorism number? What assists a physician to cure? What assists a physician to cure? Right.
Useful to the physician in assisting him to cure are the particulars of the most probable exciting cause of the acute disease, as also the most significant point in the whole history of the chronic disease, to enable him to discover its fundamental cause, which is generally due to a chronic miasm. In these investigations, the ascertainable physical constitution of the patient, especially when the disease is chronic, his moral and intellectual character, his occupation, mode of living and habits, his social and domestic relations, his age, sexual function, and etc. are to be taken into consideration.
So what is the meaning of this? Take into consideration the cause, if it is an acute disease, and the fundamental cause that will come to. And in this investigation, what is important? Physical constitution of the patient, plus his moral and intellectual character. That means what are his morals, what are his intellect, what is his speed, what is everything which comes from the genes, and his occupation, mode of living and habits, his social and domestic relation, his age section. That means indirectly is telling you to take a whole history. Go back. Of the patient himself completely. So what is genes? Genes is the whole man. Genes represents the whole man. That's why I said treat the man in disease and not disease in man. Next. It is here lies the blueprint or architectural plan of, as if there is a building. Building का plan होता है वैसे अपना पूरा plan. Where pillars are going to be there, where windows are going to be there. Similarly, where your nose is going to be there, what is the shape of your nose, what is the shape of your eye, what color of hair, what color of the skin, what should be the color of your texture of the body, everything will be on the genetic code here. So if at all, see there are two types of diseases. One is physiological, which is very superficial, where you need not take into consideration how this patient is built. But when you are going to an incurable disease, that is the time when you require his whole structure to be assessed, his whole mental attitude, which is a normal natural trait, genetic trait to be assessed, not otherwise, not anything else. Next. Man is made up of essentially two parts, one which orders and one which follows. So body, next. Mind and body. कोई भी बोलेगा man is made up of two parts, mind and body. The same genes or genetic code gives rise to mind as well as body. Next. God made us into important parts. Now, go ahead. Can one exist without the other? Sure? Okay, have you seen a headless man? He cannot exist. Huh? Go ahead. Not possible. Huh? I'm trying to imbibe upon you the holistic understanding of homeopathy. Please, I try to understand. ये कुछ भूत प्रेत का खेल नहीं है. To show you that mind and body are going hand in hand. Whatever the body does, it just follows the order from above. Whether it is walking, running, talking, eating, everything has to come from whether blood is flowing fast, blood pressure, hands are going to be cold or cold and clammy, etc. Everything has to come from here. Then how can a body or tissue act on its own? It's not possible. Body or tissue does not act on its own. Next. Unfortunately, what happens that we only do a diagnosis, X-rays and blood reports, and we consider only half of the man. Allopathic doctors do not consider this, they consider only this. Then what will they get? Half cures. They are only dependent on only this much. Body reports are only body reports. Scan hai, ECG hai, EEG hai. They will only give you a body report, not of the mind. So they will get only half cures, not complete cure. This is why allopaths do not get complete cures. Do you understand this? So those homeopaths who do half-hearted treatment, like Rustox for body ache, Calcium for backache, or Mercor for diarrhea, they are treating only half of the body, not taking into consideration the mind. Next. Three Idiots. There is a famous dialogue. You know, what is the dialogue? Okay. We have gadgets to assess the pressure on the breathing tube, but unfortunately we cannot gauge the pressure in the mind. है ना? वो बोले ना, सर, अच्छा है, आप बच गए, मर्डर नहीं है. See how intelligent Rajkumar Irani is. वैसे मुन्ना भाई में उसने एक डायलॉग मारा है, कान के डॉक्टर को मालूम नहीं होता घुटने में क्या चल रहा है? देखो वहां तक उन लोग इंटेलिजेंस है, लेकिन अपने होम्योपैथ को नहीं है. Right. And so homeopaths, what they are doing is just right. Go ahead. So it is not that the body that falls ill alone, it is both mind and body both, and WHO has defined health as wellness of mind and body both. Next. हाँ पीछे देखो ये what Hahnemann has written. But in communicating both, पढ़ो. Have you read this? Chronic disease. पढ़ा कि नहीं? नहीं पढ़ा? मान लिया. Chronic disease book you have never read?
No, sir.
It was not in your syllabus?
No, sir.
हनुमान का खुद का बुक नहीं पढ़ते फिर किसका पढ़ते हो? अरे ऑर्गेनॉन में हनुमान ने क्या लिखा है? ऑर्गेनॉन इज ओनली अ बिगिनिंग. उसका he has written that please read my chronic diseases. Aphorism number 74 के फुटनोट में लिखा है उसने. Go and read my failure of chronic disease. इसके प्रीफेस में इसने लिखा है कि बोलो.
But in communicating to the world this great discovery, I am sorry that I must.
What great discovery? What is the greatest discovery of Hahnemann? Homeopathy, she says. There are few who are saying miasm, she says homeopathy. What is the greatest discovery of Hahnemann?
Law of similars.
Hahnemann का most important discovery is similia similibus curantur के homeopathy के miasm. You know that similia similibus curantur or the principle of homeopathy was already it was already there. Samachikitsa. Poison kills poison. Like cures like. That principle was already existing. He has only elaborated it. But his most important theory, discovery, he only says, it is my keystone, is the miasm. That all the diseases are based on three things, three miasms. Okay? So what has he written? I must, bolo.
But in communicating to the world this great discovery, I am sorry that I must doubt whether my contemporaries will comprehend the logical sequence of these teachings of mine and will follow them carefully and gain thereby the infinite benefits for suffering humanity which must inevitably spring from the faithful and accurate observation of the same, or whether frightened away by unheard nature of these disclosures, they will not rather leave them untried, uninitiated, initiated and therefore useless.
What is the meaning of this? Don't just listen. क्या है इसका मतलब क्या है? After he wrote this theory of chronic diseases, this is the preface he has given. That this is my greatest discovery, and I am afraid that people, I'm sorry that I must doubt. See his Nostradamus like whether my contemporaries will comprehend the logical sequence of this teaching of mine. And how true it is. So many homeopaths came after that, very few understood him. Because what was he talking about in this chronic theory of miasms or theory of chronic disease? Nobody has understood his logical sequence of this teaching of mine. and will follow them carefully and gain thereby the infinite benefits of suffering humanity. Infinite benefits for suffering humanity which must inevitably spring from the faithful and accurate observation of the same. Do you understand the meaning of this? These 3 lines have got so much meaning which should stir your heart. That this science is so much perfect that if you follow it completely, accurately and faithfully, without mixing up and without trying to add your own intelligence to it, then you will have infinite benefits for suffering humanity. What are these infinite benefits? What are the infinite benefits? Today, unfortunately, homeopaths are racing against each other to say what is the limitation of homeopathy. कोई बोलता है tumor is a limitation, कोई बोलता है genetic mutation is a limitation. It's all humbug. At this stage, I am telling you, after having reached this stage, understood and faithfully followed Dr. Hahnemann, I have come to a conclusion that whatever he says, that infinite benefit for suffering humanity must inevitably spring, is, I think, a very, very small understatement. That this homeopathy has got such a fantastic possibilities which your mind can never imagine. But you should have that particular passion, that desire to go deep into this subject. है किसमें तुम लोग में? है क्या नहीं है? Do you want to go into deep? Very few are saying yes. Only slowly. Or he has written inevitably spring. He was a German. Dorothy is a German. And she will tell you how Germans are. Very strict. And very candid, very clear. Very perfect. Very perfect. And they don't talk psychotically like us. When he has made a statement, it has to have some meaning. And that also 200 years back, the conscience was much better than even today. Isn't it? So when he says so much, इसमें कुछ ना कुछ होगा ना? होगा कि नहीं? Now I will show you. See, today's lecture is to stimulate you to learn homeopathy. If you are interested, I can continue these lectures at regular intervals. But I want you all to have this interest. आज मुझे कुछ खास नहीं है तुमको सिखाने के लिए. I am at the, like now I am at the retiring stage. 35, 40 years of practice. I have got my grandchildren to play with. I can easily retire now. My homeopathy has given me sufficient. But why I am coming on to this stage again is only that you all should become better. And if you become better, other students will be attracted to homeopathy. And homeopathic colleges will not go empty. I started with that. I told you that homeopathic colleges are getting emptier. 20 और 22% admissions हो रहे हैं. Why? Because nobody is showing results. Where are the homeopaths who are showing results? When Lancet says that homeopathy is humbug, everybody started, oh, this is very, very bad, this is very bad. Sir, you fight, no, you fight. अरे तुम हो जाओ पीछे, हम हैं पीछे. तुम हो जाओ आगे, हम हैं पीछे. तुम्हें वहाँ मारा, हम यहाँ मार. ऐसे जब चल रहा था. From that I remember one this thing. एक फ्रेंड ने मुझे बोला था कि एक दादा था एक गांव का और वहाँ पे एक शेर गांव के नजीक शेर आता है तो सब लोग आते हैं दादा हमको बचाओ दादा बताओ अरे क्या हो गया चलो मैं आता हूँ देखता हूँ कैसे शेर आते हैं अंदर और आगे जाते हैं हाँ शेर एक कदम आगे बढ़ेगा तो मैं खत्म कर दूंगा एक कदम आगे बढ़ेगा तो मैं खत्म कर दूंगा तो लोग बोलते हाँ हाँ सॉरी लेते यार शेर को डराता है लेकिन शेर क्या क्या और एक कदम बोलेगा तो मैं मार दूंगा तेरे को, खत्म कर दूंगा, टुकड़े टुकड़े कर दूंगा। तो बोलते हैं ना, बड़ा शेर सुनाओ, हाउसफुल, बड़ा शेर सुनाते हैं और बोलते हैं, फिर भी शेर आगे आगे आता है, तो ये शेर, ये तो दादा ऐसे ऐसे कांपने लगते हैं। फिर बोलता है, सब लोग बोलते हैं, भागो भागो, शेर बह रहा है। शेर को कुछ सुनाई नहीं दे रहा है, मैं इतना बोलता हूँ, नहीं आना तो भी हार। तो लाइन से अपने ऊपर आ रहा है। Everybody is attacking homeopathy, and what are we doing? We are not even trying to defend ourselves. And how can we defend, and why should we defend? If I defend, people told me, show your cases. Yes, I can show you cases. But if I tell them that brain tumor can be cured and this cancer can be cured, where are the other homeopaths who can support me? And if all the patients start running, they start running to homeopaths with cancer, they have no answer to it, and who will suffer? Homeopathy will suffer. Homeopathy will be. So what is important is that we have to make homeopaths good enough. We have to create good homeopaths who can tackle this. We don't want homeopaths who want to treat skin diseases, kajkuchli and whatnot. Sleeplessness, इसलिए दवा दिया and they became okay. Somebody says that I cured depression and I cured sleeplessness, I cured itching, eczema. You should completely ban such homeopaths who just show cases of skin diseases and arthritis, etc. Homeopathy is not meant for such small things. Homeopathy is meant for giving life to the almost dead, giving eyesight to the blind, giving hearing to the deaf, giving legs to the lame. Impossible things should be seen in homeopathy, and that is why homeopathy was manufactured. It was not here to be manufactured for cough, cold, diarrhea, dysentery. Shame on us. There are so many people who feel, ठीक है, cough and cold रहेगा तो homeopathy ले लो, chronic cold है, homeopathy ले लो. This is not what homeopathy was meant for. In fact, I tell them, okay, for cough and cold, you go to your Chalu doctor. So many people come and say, Doctor Sahab, my child has been suffering from cough and cold for last 6 years. I am doing homeopathy, allopathy everywhere. I have gone to all Chalu doctors. Chalu doctors are allopathy. Why they are not Chalu doctors? Because the dava chalu ही रहता है. थोड़ा दवा ठीक होता है, वापिस चालू होता है, वापिस. So the Chalu doctors we don't want. We have to eradicate. Now I will show you some inevitably good cures.